104.1 KRBE. Let's get started. It's the Roula and Ryan Show.
Wake up, fool!
Hey, wake up!
It's about to get all stupid up in here!
Right here.
Featuring Eric.
Eric, he is a bad, bad man.
Special K.
The big red K.
Are you threatening me?
I'm waiting for you.
And Sam.
I am a wife! I am a wife!
You've waited long enough. How the heck do you pronounce this woman's name?
Roula. And
Ding dong.
Ryan. 104.1 KRBE.
Good morning, Houston, Texas. It's another Monday. Here we go. Another Monday. June 24th of 2024. It's 6 o'clock on the dot, and the gang is here. Roula, Ryan, Sam, Special K. Ahmads in. Eric's out. Vacation times are starting. Yesterday at 5 o'clock, I drove to the grocery store, and from the drive to the store and the stores around the grocery store, I'm like, wow, where is everybody? I felt like yesterday was so empty. Everywhere I went, it just looked empty. I was like, guess everyone's gone.
On vacation.
There's a lot of people out this
bailing out.
weekend at our event, so maybe they were on your side of town.
Well, I'm just saying 5 o'clock on a Sunday, usually I guess I'm used to having a lot of people at the grocery store, but school's out, people are doing vacations. That's probably why it's going on. But yeah, I saw y'all had a huge turnout. What time did y'all start, Sam and Special K? Y'all posted it like at 1 or something, or?
No, try 10:45 in the morning.
10:45 a.m. So give us a rundown. Was it a blast?
It was so much fun, and I love the experience that New Faces of Pride had for everyone. It was a nice, I guess, it was a nice welcome change to have a bit looser crowd. Because
What do you mean by like looser?
Pride gets so thick you can't even move or breathe or function, and then they added this second one, so it gave it some relief, and it was so nice to have that. And Sam and I hosted the entire day. Sam, thank you so much for keeping me up and on top of things. And
Look at the shiny thing over here. Focus, Special K.
Yeah, I was just like getting swept away talking to everybody. I was like, okay, babe, all right, let's go. I kept my little Apple Watch on, and I'm like on check on time and everything. But no, I'm so blessed to be an ally and for you to allow me to be a part of that. So thank you for having me be there. It was fun.
Thank you for
And
coming.
Ahmad, you're going to be hosting as well.
Yes, I'll be hosting the Pride Parade this weekend. I'll be an MC with Trinity. She's a comedian. It's going to be really, really fun. It's a cool, like, full circle moment for me. That was the first Pride I've ever been to. And so now I'm going to be on the stage calling the floats.
Oh, man, that's really something else. That's cool. 6 years ago, I saw your post. Was what, the first time you went?
Yeah, that was the first time I went. I was like, are these many gay people allowed in one place?
Right? Oh, that is allowed? Like, where do y'all live?
Yeah.
where y'all been? Because there are so many of us. I am blown away.
Yeah.
And now, I had to split it in 2 weekends. So I'll actually be hosting a fashion show this Wednesday night for Pride as well. There's so much going on. And Ahmad and I turned up real hard this weekend. Not only did we do the festival, the parade, but we also did a bit of after party.
Oh, we did. We did. I had to drag him and Booster out there.
What time is that?
Where did you guys go?
We went to the Eagle, your buddy's spot. That was a good time.
How late did you guys stay out?
I don't remember, honestly.
I think you guys
Was the sun up
clocked
when you were
out.
getting home?
No. I think they clocked out around 12. I shut it down, definitely.
But people need to
That's
be
a good
aware
idea.
when they drive downtown that, there are some definite route changes. I was doing that fashion fitness swimwear fundraiser for American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So we did that gig Saturday night, and I completely did not take into account that there's a lot of rerouting in downtown
Well, yeah, because
Houston.
you got the parade routes. They have to make sure they detour all the traffic.
Finally, I just gave up, and I'm like, this looks like a good place to park. I'm just going to walk the rest of the way.
Is the event this weekend, Ahmad, the same route that Kevin and Sam, you guys had?
Yes, and
Okay.
KRBE.com has all the festival and parade route information if y'all want to go check that out. But yeah, same old route, same old thing. It's going to be super fun.
And I know June is always Pride Month, but obviously it comes to a crescendo in the last week, right? Is there an actual day that was determined like this is Pride Day?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
I think
It's always at the end of the month where all the festivities are happening,
It's
but
an
the whole
entire
month is.
month.
Right.
traditionally, it's always culminated with Pride on the last Saturday of the month.
Right.
And now it's the last 2 Saturdays of the month as Houston keeps growing and growing and growing.
How did they pick June?
What did they pick June? What?
Because in other cities, Kev, in other cities, it's not boiling hot.
Yeah.
And some cities
Pride
actually
Month,
do
that's
like,
why.
some
Right.
cities do like October prides for that reason.
I'm gonna need an October Pride. Maybe one of the prides can break off and do an October date, but I don't know. I'll put my ideas in their heads.
Yeah.
I feel like
Good luck
You're
with
going to
that.
get in shape, that's for sure. It's hot. You'll be sweating off everything.
We did.
I got married in October, and that's when I learned that October is the busiest social calendar gala and event month in the city of Houston. That's probably why Pride's not in October.
Yeah, because someone has already
everything's
booked up
already booked.
those
All the
weekends for the
venues.
next 30 years.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Every October. I mean, October really starts festival season, right? Most
yeah.
of the festivals
Yeah,
kick off in October.
ACL, yeah.
So you could add Pride Fest to that, but I don't know where they're going to squeeze in there. I don't know.
I'd much
Squeeze
prefer
in there.
an outdoor event in the October, even November. Gosh, the beginning of November, it's still kind of cute.
That's cute.
But I mean, you can't. I don't know. I mean, you can wear your short shorts. You're just gonna be a little bit chilly in them.
It's a little chill.
It just depends, you know. Depends on what the weather has in store for us. There are Thanksgivings I still recall walking out of my house with my parents to go to a family friend's house, and I'm wearing like winter clothes. I'm like, seriously? And I went back inside to put on short sleeves and like casual clothes. It was so hot. And then there are other Thanksgivings that were like freezing and nice and feeling fall. So you
I like
just
that.
never know what
Yes.
you're going to get. So today on the Roula and Ryan Show, we've got a Roula and Ryan's Roses update. Of course, as usual at 7:20, we are going to hear inspirational stories of how somebody told you, you suck. And then you showed them you don't.
You overcame something also. Sometimes people, they've been dealt a tough hand and they just rose above that situation and they did
Yeah, was it
on
last
their own.
week the girl called in? She said she was hooked on cocaine in high school. She was an alcoholic by 20. And she turned it around. She quit cold turkey by 23. And now she is the
CEO of,
CEO
like
of a company.
Yeah.
multimillionaire
So
college.
that's how old she was, like
not
30s or
always.
40s.
I want to say she was in her 30s.
I
But
think
could
the
be wrong.
30s. I
Yeah.
remember when I took
Right?
the call. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
pretty
not
amazing.
always about somebody putting you down. Sometimes just life has put you down and people have just overcome it. And it's inspiring.
Yeah, the lady that called us that one time and said, well, my mom was a teen mom and I was a teen mom and everyone was shaming me that my daughter's going to be a teen mom. And she is. But, and then she told us how, you know, she overcame that because that was her shame. Her shame was, oh God, I'm continuing this pattern. But she didn't make her kid get pregnant. She just dealt with it and helped her child through it. And everyone's successful now. So it's just the stories that will really pump you up, especially if you feel like you really need to hear something. We also have Wallows tickets today, 8 o'clock. We do this 5 times a day, 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., 5 p.m., and 7 p.m. is a special event we're doing at the Rustic downtown. And it is an event that you can only get your tickets through KRBE. It is a question and answer session and a private performance with Wallows, which will be really fun. A lot of people, was it you, Ahmad, that said this, or Kevin said this?
What?
This is going to be way crazier than people think it's going to be.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's like the hottest ticket in town right now. Our front desk girl gets calls hour after hour like, please, how do I win this? How do I
Yeah.
do
Oh,
this?
yeah.
You got to listen.
It's gonna
It's
be
that easy.
So we have a big week ahead, and I know a lot of people are starting to get their vacation brain on because 4th of July is right around the corner. So a lot of people are going to be trying to, maybe even if you get like 1 or 2 days off, you want to try and like figure out what you're going to do. I don't even know what the weather's going to be this far
Hopefully
out.
you figured it out and you've made reservations because the place is going to be booked.
I can tell you, it's going to be hot and a lot of sunshine. And they're saying the heat indexes the last week of June. We are in the last week of June. They said we're going to be under like a heat advisory. It's going to feel like it's 110 out there. Yeah.
Well, is it going to be 110 today? Because it already feels hot.
Yeah, it's going to be about 96 degrees. That heat index, once again, it is going to feel like it's in the hundreds. Let's see. Right now, 79 degrees. And let's see, 6:08 on the Roula and Ryan Show.
Movies, music, TV, and all things Hollywood
Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop.
on KRBE.
All right, so let's start out with the concerts here on the domestic side before we jump abroad across the pond. Justin Timberlake played the United Center in Chicago this weekend. These are his first shows after the big press of his
DWI.
His mistake, where he got arrested in the Hamptons for drinking while intoxicated. We're still waiting to see what happens there.
You mean driving while intoxicated?
Oh, I just said drinking.
Well, we understood.
Thanks for catching that. During his Friday show, he said, it's been a tough week. I know I'm hard to love sometimes, but you keep loving me right back. You've been such a big and beautiful part of my life. I want each and every one of you to know I've grown up with you. And sometimes I can't find the words to show my gratitude that you guys just keep riding with me. You just keep riding with me. No pun intended.
Oh, wow.
We wait to
I
see
don't know if I want to be riding
what
with you.
happens there with his I guess DUI and DWI. Okay, one is driving under the influence. The other one is driving while intoxicated. So what is the difference? What, you
I
blow on the
couldn't tell ya.
breathalyzer? I don't know the difference.
Neither one is
That's my
good.
dumb question. Amnesty for today. Cops can text us at 37530. What is the DUI versus DWI difference? Unless one of y'all looks it up first while we keep talking about concerts. Over the pond, across the pond in London, Taylor Swift's Eras tours hit Wembley Stadium. Packed house, of course. Everyone's freaking out because Travis Kelce not only was there because, of course, they're dating, but he actually was incorporated into the show as it's different now than the Eras tour we saw here in Houston because she has now released a new album. There's a new section to the show. And it's three guys that come out in tuxedos with tails and top hats, and she does this whole like feigning that she's falling over. And did you find the answer, by the way?
I got your
DUI,
answer.
DWI, what's the difference?
So DWI means driving while intoxicated. DUI means driving under the influence and refers to operating a vehicle under the age of 21 while you have any impairing agent in your bloodstream, such as alcohol or drugs.
So DUI is just because you're behind a vehicle?
DUI
Wait, driving
means,
while intoxicated is both driving behind a vehicle.
I understand, but DUI means you're driving under the influence and refers to you operating a vehicle under the age of 21. So DUI, you're under 21. DWI means just driving while intoxicated.
I
is
saw
what it
something
says.
too. DWI is you have to have a 0.08 or higher blood alcohol content, and a DUI is just lower than 0.08.
Okay, so that's
That
what
would
it
make
is.
more sense to
Sam's
me.
answer
Doesn't
is
have
right,
anything with
Ryan,
that
because
age.
JT is definitely over 21.
Oh,
and he has
yeah.
a DUI, not a
Right.
DWI.
Here
So
it
it's
is,
about
yeah.
your
I'm
alcohol.
on a Texas government website. Yep, you're right.
And remember, he said he'd only had one martini when he
So
got.
that's how he would get the DUI is because he still
It's less
has
than a point.
alcohol in his system, but it's under the 0.08 blood
Got
alcohol.
it.
Why
Now
would they
we've all
pull him
learned
over, though, if
something.
he's
Or
under
take
the
him.
legal
Well, they
limit?
take him in. I'm saying if they refused. They didn't know.
So that's
they
why
didn't
he
know.
couldn't get a DWI.
He
Yeah.
refused a
sense.
breathalyzer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
Oh.
he refused blood for a long time. I don't know if they finally got it or not.
I don't have that info.
To be continued. So, as I was saying, Taylor is doing her show. Travis Kelce is part of the show, where he's one of the guys in the tuxedo with tails who like picks her up and does this whole skit with her. Prince William brought his kids, Prince George and Princess Charlotte, for the first show on Friday night. Other celebrities that showed up. Penelope Featherington from Bridgerton, Special K.
Nice.
Nicola Coughlan was there, along with Jonathan Van Ness, who plays Anthony. Salma Hayek was at that show. Videos from the VIP tent show Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher. Greta Gerwig, who directed Barbie. Tom Cruise was there. And Jason Kelce and his wife Kylie were there as well. Liam Hemsworth, Hugh Grant.
Jeez.
A whole bunch. Show number 3, she had Paul McCartney there, Kate Blanchett, Ellie Goulding, John Bon Jovi, Sophie Turner, Piers Morgan. A lot of people there. The Foo Fighters were at another venue one of those nights. And I have never heard anybody throw shade on Taylor for not being a live singer. Because when she's here, when I saw her there,
She's not
I could not
lip-syncing.
tell that she was not singing live. I mean, she
I
was
think- hold on.
singing live.
Does
I
she
think
sing
what
with a
Dave Grohl
backtrack?
said is we play live.
No, let's hear the audio because it's kind of a
Okay.
crap audio
All right.
because it's from somebody's cell phone. So you got to listen carefully. But y'all tell me if they're. Here it is.
You don't want to suffer the wrath of Taylor Swift.
You don't want to suffer the wrath of Taylor Swift.
So we like to call our tour the Errors Tour. Because I feel like
Errors tour.
we've had more than a few errors, and more than a few errors as well. Just a couple. That's because we actually play live. What?
Instruments.
But she also plays live. She
Oh,
has
they
her
have some
guitar in
backing
her
tracks,
hands.
don't they?
I think that since they feel like they play every single note live from beginning to end, and she relies more on tracks than that's the kind of shade
Well, it's
that
different. They're a rock band, and
Yeah.
they play their instruments live, is what he's saying. You can't even say you can't say her name on stage without being scrutinized for what you're saying.
Unless it's a glorious statement. Of
Hey, I did a little bit more research, by the way, on the Texas government website, and DUI is if you're under 21 because you're not allowed to have any alcohol.
But that's Texas. He
In
was
Texas,
arrested in
yeah.
where? What's New York, the state of New
Yeah.
York.
it could be any drug. It says here from our texters, not just alcohol. It could be narcotics.
You're not allowed to have anything in your system if you're under 21.
Yeah, under the influence of something versus while intoxicated refers to alcohol. Is that correct? I'm going to guess yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, someone just texted me a picture. Oh my God, it's so
Of
funny.
what?
A Bridgerton-themed International Delight coffee creamer. Oh my God, they've gone with everything.
Really?
Yes, what is that supposed to be? Does
How
it
does
taste
it make-
like the Bridgerton study?
We have to try this. What's our try and Tuesday tomorrow?
Does it taste like a Macron?
Yum. It
One
says
of them is English toffee and the other one was what?
berries and cream.
Oh, I
People
thought it
do
said
realize
blossoms
this
and
is
cream.
fictional. Nobody drank this stuff back
I know, but
then.
it's the same thing
But
as
still
Star
have
Wars, Harry
fun.
Potter. You like butterbeer.
Oh, I know. There's
You
no
know what I
such
mean?
thing as really butterbeer, but people love it. I loved it.
That is so funny, the Bridgerton
That's
thing.
cute.
Okay, now
You're
you-
having fun, and why not?
So the Bridgerton thing, I find myself going back to watching certain things that I like of this show that I don't know, maybe because I feel like I don't want to dive into something new yet on Netflix. I am, if 6 o'clockers, if you don't know, I'm the person that will listen to a show with one earbud while it sits on my phone and I'm doing other things. This is why I can't watch new shows. You have to focus on new shows. You have to sit down and actually watch them. I can't do that. So a lot of times, just to have something in my ear while I'm doing things around the house, I have something that I don't have to look at. And yesterday I had the scene, there's a duel in the first season. There is a duel. And before the duel happens, there is a scene where the girl, that's the star, gets a really beautiful diamond necklace from this prince. And she's wearing the diamond necklace and she feels like she's choking, like she can't breathe. She's so stifled because of her stress that she has to dismiss herself from the bowl, go outside, and she pulls the necklace off, and she's just trying to breathe real heavy, like catch her breath, right?
Yeah.
So yesterday I was like, well, I don't need my earbud. I'll just leave it on the counter on full volume and whatever. And my husband walks in at the moment when this is happening. She's like, and he goes, "What are you watching? Why is it on loud?" Because it sounds like action. It sounds like a sexy
okay.
time scene. Because she's like,
Oh,
and it's
okay.
like all this, and she's like, and I was like, she's just
Hey, quick
having a
question.
panic
She just
attack.
can't breathe.
She's having a panic attack.
How do your AirPods, like when I take my AirPods out, they stop working. Like it cuts off the source. Like my AirPods, when I pull them out of my ear, nothing comes out of the
Well, I put the
speakers.
AirPod away and I just hit play and had it on loud.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, the phone out on loud.
You can also adjust the settings. Like
Oh.
you can keep one in and the other one in the case.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I first got the AirPods Pro, I was totally off of equilibrium and getting like, what's that word, vertigo or something? Because I was like, what is happening with my ears? Because it would shut down there's a thing on your app where you can shut down the noise cancellation. If you don't shut that off, it almost like it clogs one ear if you only have one in because of the whole vacuum effect for them to be noise canceling. So it'll really throw you off. It took me a while to like figure out how to.
I
have
love
one
that.
AirPod
Like when I'm in the gym,
Yeah.
I totally do the noise canceling so that I
In
can't
both
hear
ears.
anything. Yes.
But then it was, I need
That's
my
good in
that
the gym.
environment.
It's
'Cause
not
somebody's
good when you're running
"Ma'am, are
on
you
the
done
street."
with that? Excuse me, miss, are you
then
finished with these?
wave to me.
What if some guy's like, "Oh yeah, girl,
You get it, girl.
you doing them
And
squats?"
hence why I can't hear you. Go ahead. I can't hear you.
Well,
Wait,
he's saying
Roula.
you need to be aware of your
I
surroundings.
don't care. In the gym, no.
Look at this one texter that we have labeled here, and she makes a good point about Taylor Swift. You once did a story where you played her audio of her stopping the show to address a crowd issue. Now, when she stopped, her vocals kept going
Oh, is that
in
right?
the background. You heard her talking
She
over
sings
top of her.
she sings live
vocals.
to a track.
Oh, yes, I do remember that. I think it was last week, actually. Yeah, that's true. And okay, look, when the Eras Tour first started, when it was here in Houston, I remember asking. I think I asked my niece, "Is she lip syncing that, or is she singing over that?" When the Eras Tour starts, you can watch it on Amazon or whatever, Disney Plus. She comes out and it's a montage of all of her eras. Like Red in 1989, I'm Taylor Swift, I was born in 1989. Okay, all that's a track, of course, that's a track. and then she starts singing Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. And I believe that is live. But there is a lot of effect, yes.
I would assume she would have to have a
She
lot
has to
of
have
things
on track with that, but
on track.
She usually does play the piano live, and she plays her guitar live. And Dave Grohl, the Swifties are going to rise up.
Oh, yeah, they are. I would not have mentioned
he's
that
right,
comment.
but they're going to hear
She's
it
going to
come.
rise up. Okay, so Tom Cruise is at Taylor Swift's show, and this is the same weekend his daughter Suri graduated high school.
Oh,
LaGuardia
wow.
High School.
Did he attend?
He did not go.
No, 'cause he was with Taylor Swift.
They have been estranged
How do
basically
you
since she had to
not?
leave Scientology. She wanted to bail out of Scientology. I think he's shunned Suri and
Oh, that's
Katie
right.
Holmes, and she wasn't listed as Suri Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
She was just listed as Suri Noel. She did not have Cruz as her last
That
name.
right there should tell you you have chosen a bad religion. If they want to separate you from your children and you're choosing that over your child, you're probably in a cult.
Are we in a generation now that has no idea what the Tom Cruise couch jumping incident was?
Yes.
Couch jumping, yeah, that's
Absolutely.
We're
Yeah,
past
that
That's
is-
20 years old.
That's so old.
Right. So if
No
you are
offense.
24, no, it's what I'm saying. It's been
Yeah,
a long
no,
time.
no.
I
So
think
if
it
you're
just
25
20
years
years
old,
ago.
so 25 years old, do you know how, let me ask Ahmad, because Ahmad, you're in your 20s. Ahmad, do you know the story of Tom Cruise's overzealous love for Katie Holmes? Do you know this?
Yeah, it was parodied in one of those like parody movies. I don't know if it was Scary Movie or whatever.
Okay.
I know
Oh my
that
gosh.
more than
Yeah.
actually.
Okay,
Oh,
do you know
they did
anything
it- they
about
did
their
it on,
child?
Family Guy.
also.
Yeah,
I'm in
yeah.
love with Katie Holmes. I'm in love with Katie Holmes. I'm not gay. Go see my new movie. I'm in love with Katie Holmes. I'm not gay.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
big deal.
basically is what he was
So
trying to
do
say.
you know, Ahmad, about how he had a child with her and now he's like nothing, like does not even acknowledge? Do you know that?
Yeah, isn't it like something to do with Scientology or something?
Yeah, because he when he was married to Nicole Kidman for just under 10 years, they had adopted 2 children. And then when that divorce happened, neither one of those parents ever was photographed ever with Isabella or Connor. Ever. Then Nicole Kidman got married to Keith Urban and had her daughter, and that's her daughter. But I've never seen a picture. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Have y'all seen a picture of Nicole Kidman and Isabella or Nicole Kidman and Connor together having like a walk somewhere?
Maybe they just didn't want their kids to be in the limelight. They just wanted to keep their private life private.
Yeah, but
What?
even like
No.
grocery store or
Nothing.
something. You've
Nothing,
never,
Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Something weird was there because it was like, okay, well, they got divorced and the whole weird thing of Scientology apparently had to make them get divorced or whatever those rumors were. And then because of that, neither one's going to contact the children they adopted. But then she has her kids with Keith Urban. And that's, hey, they see her walking on the beach with her kids there. And then he had Suri Cruz with Katie Holmes. But then when she wanted to bail out of Scientology, they're like, well, you're shunned. There was a whole story. You're shunned. If you're shunned because you left Scientology, well, first of all, I don't think she survived Scientology, right? Didn't Leah Remini have that whole
Yeah.
series?
Oh, yeah, she still
surviving
does, yeah.
Scientology.
Which the stuff that they do to Leah, I can only imagine what they're doing to Katie Holmes. Like,
Yeah, I
they're
just
like following her everywhere and like
Right.
stalking
So
her.
what they do is they quit all communication. They call them suppressive persons. That's how they get rid of them. That's a suppressive person. You can't be around them. So if you would choose that over your own child, I have zero respect for
Well,
you.
he made some kind of a deal with somebody about his extraordinary career. And look, from all the things we've heard about behind the scenes of Tom Cruise as a professional, you can't beat him. He's very professional. He seems to care about all the cast and crew, and he's really intuitive to that. But personally, it's a cramp show, personally. But man, does he look good for 60? That's what 60 looks
yeah,
like.
I think he's like 62 now.
That Scientology
Impressive.
bomb. Scientology moisturizer they put on him.
They need to start
The
selling that.
Scientology moisturizer they put on you.
What kind of sunblock is that?
All right, coming up next, we're going to go around the table and we're going to start off with a near-death situation. What are we
Oh
doing?
my God. Ahmad, I'm so glad he's here with me. Ahmad and I could be, well, I think right about now we'd be taking our last breath. We'd
Yeah.
be dead.
Yeah.
We'd be dead right about now.
What?
We
Ocean
came so
Gate, Part
close.
2.
Oh my God, we're going to get into this story and more next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
There could actually be 2 people less sitting at this table
What
right now.
happened?
So this is a sequel, follow-up to a story that started with Kevin and I here at 9801 Westheimer. Look, a lot of the buildings in this city were definitely affected by the pandemic. A lot of people realizing that they can do the job without an office. They can work remotely. And there's a lot of vacancies in this building. In particular, the bank that pulled out of this building.
Yep.
And we were shocked. Kevin and I were like, hey, the door's open. And we just walked in. We wanted to take a look around. Kevin, by the way, there are still, you can see where the little alarms used to be under the counter.
Yeah, that was
where the
crazy.
bank tellers.
Yeah,
So-
I didn't think to look for that when I was down in there.
So, because we had a lot of people, I posted a picture of Kevin behind the counter, and then Ahmad said he wanted to go down. I said, come on with me. We'll go down. We'll take a look. He wanted
We're
to see the vault.
exploring the back room.
What
the
day was
abandoned
this?
bank.
This is
Friday.
Friday.
Okay.
Friday after the show.
Yeah.
So Kevin and I had looked at the old vault. We wanted to see the vault, and Ahmad said, I want to see the vault. Kevin, you remember how heavy that door was? And we said to ourselves, boy, if this thing ever closed, somebody would really be locked in there. So
And
I
then
was-
you tried to close it?
I was showing
Right.
Ahmad,
Oh, my
like,
God.
how heavy is this door?
Oh, Lord.
And we moved it, and it was really heavy, and it started to swing shut, and I stopped it, and I pushed it back, and then Ahmad and I walked into the vault, and we walk into the vault, and we're looking around, all of a sudden, boom, boom, the door closed behind us. We're like, ah!
Oh my God.
Yes,
Because
swear words were yelled.
nobody...
But you had phones, right?
You can't get a signal out of there. Are you
I don't
kidding
think
me?
so.
No,
Yeah, I
it's
don't
like
think
3
so.
feet thick concrete all the way
Yeah.
around.
So what happened?
And we're like, oh my God, we're going to run out of air. We're going to die. And thankfully, it did not lock.
Yeah.
And we got
But
it
it did
open.
shut all the way.
It
Yes.
did. And
It
we were
shut
like,
all the way.
oh, we
all the
both
way.
dropped a bad word at the
Yeah.
same time.
My
Right?
heart.
Wait, what time was this? What time was
It
this?
was about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
All right, so how much time would have had to have passed before y'all got desperate? Like, would you be sitting there like an hour before you're like,
There's nothing we could have done.
No, they couldn't have
I
done
don't know what
anything.
we're gonna do.
Nothing we
Nobody
could have
would have
done.
heard the screams.
No.
Nobody.
yeah, because
Nobody.
nobody's going down there.
Nobody's going in there.
Nobody needs to be in there.
And it's like
right.
really
and you're
hot
not
in there.
supposed to
And we
be
knew
in there.
we knew they were going, but probably wouldn't have crossed our minds later that they didn't make it out.
The show had started this morning and Ahmad and I are missing. At what point would you think?
Oh my gosh.
No, I think
would have
that-
never known that you were in there.
No, never. But
Nobody
Ahmad's-
would. We didn't tell
Ahmad's
anybody.
mate
That's
or
what I'm
your
saying,
mate
so no.
would have probably called somebody to say, "Hey, this person, like Ryan or Ahmad, never came home from work."
Yes.
Oh, I was telling my
At
fiance.
some
She said
point-
she would have figured it out.
Yeah.
She
well,
claims.
she wouldn't have figured out that you were in the vault. She just figured out she would have called somebody and been like,
Yeah.
"Hey, what time did Ryan leave the radio station? Because I haven't seen him yet."
and
they'd
his
s-
car's still
They'd
there.
see our cars
yeah, your
here.
cars are still there.
Does your fiance and Ahmad, does your boyfriend, you guys share locations?
No, because he has an Android and he sucks. So.
Oh,
Be able to
dang.
see it,
Worse when your
Sam, because
person
the
has an
cell
Android.
signal would be cut off.
Yes, but it would show.
No, but I think it
would
would-
show
Yeah.
last place you are. Your car is
I
here.
don't think so. Not when you've got 3 feet
And
concrete
also,
bunker walls.
I think you
if I
could've-
wouldn't have shown up to Pride Saturday, they would have been like, honey, there's no way he was going to miss Pride. What's
Yeah,
going
it
on?
would have been
is he?
figured out by Friday for sure because your car was here, Ryan, and
Yeah.
even like let's say if Yoj came in here, our production director, and said, "Why is Ryan still here? Where is he? Is Ryan still here?"
That would have triggered something, and then we would have been like, okay, well, let's give him a call, and then let's look around the station.
Or where are they? And then by
Yeah.
that time, maybe your fiance may have called the main line to the radio station.
Oh, yeah.
You know, be like, "Hey, anybody
Something's going
around
on."
can tell me if Ryan's car is there?" Because yes, Ahmad doesn't have a car, but Ryan has a car.
But she says she
But
would
I
have
wonder
figured it out
how
because
many hours would have passed before somebody figured out where you guys
I'd say
were.
like 6 o'clock Friday.
You think so?
I think
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
gosh,
been there
Ahmad.
8 hours.
Who would they find to open it?
Who,
if
ha-
that
who would
lock
have to
had
pee
worked?
first? Ryan for sure would pee that vault.
Oh, absolutely.
You would
yeah,
100%
I'd pee
pee
that
that
vault.
Ahmad.
I pee
Look
20,
away.
20 times a morning.
It's gonna smell like you're pissing here now.
No, but there was a vault inside the vault. That would have been our
Oh, yeah,
makeshift
that would have
toilet.
been, that would have been our
was-
bathroom.
Yeah.
There's like a little extra room in there.
Yeah, you're inside the vault, and then there's another room inside
Would the air
vault
run
you
out
can
of the
go in.
vault?
No,
Right.
no, I think they'd be fine with that. I think you could probably get a cell phone signal out of there. If you can get a cell phone signal, you know.
Who would gotten us out of there? Like the bank doesn't exist
Oh,
anymore.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
nobody
clearly
was in there.
somebody.
Oscar probably.
But you guys
The
are
main-
a good
to get it
example
open.
of why anybody listening,
Don't do
especially
this.
check with what your kids are doing because it's summertime and they're bored and they find things to do. This is why you're not supposed to go to like closed off areas or construction sites that are shut down.
We're grown-ass
because
men
people
and we
go
did
in
it.
there and
Yeah.
no one's going to come check on you because it's not a populated place.
Right.
Like no one's ever supposed to be in that space.
Ahmad, how hot was it in there too?
It is hot. Like the air conditioning does not go to that part of the building.
Well, no,
Yeah,
because
well,
they're
they
not
shut it
paying
down.
tenants anymore.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't
wouldn't
pay
give
for
them
that
air
either.
either.
Yeah. Cut some
The
air.
cockroaches can die.
Oh God.
Well, it
Well, you
was,
know there are some.
I
They
just,
ain't
I'm
spraying.
like, thank you, God. I've got a guardian angel, man. We both thought, we're like, oh, God, this
It's
is
over.
I said, I'm going to die with Ahmad. They're going to find our skeleton in here in
I
like a
was
year.
like,
People
yeah.
are saying if you get Life 360, which I have that app. I don't know if y'all ever have that app or not. Life 360 works on all phones. It is a free location share.
But I'm saying
and the husband
no
has the
signal can get
Samsung,
through.
and the wife had the iPhone, so that could work.
You. Okay.
But if you're in a vault with no signal being able to penetrate
But Live
those
360
walls,
would show where you last were.
oh, where you last
Yeah,
were.
because
Yeah,
you're moving
so
with your
that's,
phone. So it would show you here at 901 Westheimer. It'd be like, okay, well, it says he's here. Where is he? See, he's got to be here somewhere. His car's here. Where is he?
I think
and
they
then the
would've
hunt
faded
would be
out.
on.
Yes, you would at least know like the area.
Like, is he
on
in the parking
Instagram,
garage?
I
Did he
had
go back
showed
there? He talks
pictures.
about all the trash back there and somebody got him?
Yeah.
Maybe.
And shove him in the old drive-through
yeah.
bank back there.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine I got kidnapped? Like, you're ours now, dude. Like,
I think somebody lives back there. I don't know.
I think many people live back there.
I mean,
Yeah, I think a couple
Nobody's
people.
checking over there either.
Yeah.
Talking about sharing locations, have you seen the funny memes and videos on Instagram where it's like, I asked my best friend for her location so I can check and make sure she's okay if anything happens to her. And then it's like, you text her, you're like, why are you at the grocery store? Why are you at TJ Maxx? Why are you at...
1,000% that friend.
So am I.
yeah.
It's like you're supposed to be looking at them for their location in case something
just
happens
nosy.
to them, and then you're like nosy. I do that
didn't
to
call me
Jules
for
all
Target.
the time. I'm like, you went there without me. You know I would have liked to go there.
Yes.
Like,
Oh my
how
God.
dare you
I mean,
go
it's
and live
one
your
thing,
life without me?
It's one thing to do that with your mate. That makes sense. But a friend? I don't
Yes,
want a
because-
friend knowing where I'm at all times.
because Ryan, when I was, it makes sense that Sam and Jules follow each other.
has my location.
Well, that's interesting because that's a different thing. I was going to say it makes sense for you and Jules. When I was
Jules,
single and I was living in
brother.
Philly alone, I had zero
everybody.
friends there.
Yeah.
If I'd left the radio station at 10 a.m. on Friday and I didn't show up at 6 a.m. on Monday, only they would care at 6 a.m. when I wasn't there because
Right.
I didn't have any other contacts there. I'd be dead on a Saturday and they
Right.
wouldn't know until Monday.
Yeah.
So something like that kind of share would be good for a single person who doesn't have friends. But that's interesting that you share Booster's location.
I just gave it to him like over the weekend. I was like, he just needs to have my location. I don't even think he knows, to be honest.
well, if it was over the
He needs
weekend,
to
that's
start
because y'all
talking
take
to me.
pride. And I'm sure there's a lot of
Oh
people
yeah, but
that
I
his
just
friends-
was like, nah, just have it.
Oh,
I think
that's
it's fine because
interesting.
what's going to happen if he doesn't have my location?
I know, but it's funny. Kevin, do you have Booster's location and Sam does?
No, I don't have.
Oh no, B didn't share his location with me. I just shared my location with him.
Oh, so
Even
it's only one-sided.
well, that's fine. Even my husband's brother, so my brother-in-law, I share my location
Everyone
with him.
knows where the hell she is.
Everybody, like anybody in my phone, I'm
You're an
like.
open book. That's fine.
I feel like, yeah, I have absolutely nothing to hide. Also,
The last valet.
if for some reason his brother couldn't get a hold of Mark and they needed something, at least he would have my location. Is the way that I think. Like I have my
What if
little
y'all aren't
brother's
together?
location. Mark and I are like always together. He has nobody. I will kidnap him and love him forever. So.
Baby reindeer. Oh, my baby reindeer.
Show to tell you what's going down in H-Town.
All right, real quick, I want to thank everybody who came out Saturday night. We had like a very successful event for the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention.
Sorry, Ryan's trying to do something serious, and I'm still envisioning Sam as holding her husband like a kitty cat, and I'm gonna love you forever. You're mine forever. Okay, you were
It is
saying.
disturbing. Yeah. We had over 700 people show up, so I would just wanted to personally
That's awesome.
thank everybody for coming out. If you are ever having those kind of thoughts and you are feeling like, God, there's no answer here, call 988. That is the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, or visit AFSP.org, a fantastic organization, the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. Okay, so Tennessee forces a winner-take-all game against A&M tonight at 6 p.m. This is the World Series, the College
I thought they were
World
going to win it
Series.
yesterday. It was the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah.
A&M was last at bat. There was two guys on. It was a 4-1 score. The batter was the tying run. And I was like, come on, you got this. And that guy was so stressed out. He kept like stepping out of the box and taking deep breaths.
Oh man!
And then at one point, I thought it was the third strike, and it wasn't. He had foul tipped it, and then it just kept going until he hit it, and we thought he had a chance for a home run, but no, got caught in the outfield, and they go on to Game 3, which is the last game.
Yep, and that is tonight at 6 p.m. Now, KHOU.com had a really interesting article about a very prominent businessman. There's a scam that we all have got to watch out for here in Houston, and this is happening a lot. People are getting calls, and it appears in their caller ID that is from the Harris County Sheriff's Department. The person on the other line will identify themselves as a sheriff's deputy, and they'll say something like, well, sir, you missed your court date. We're issuing a warrant for your arrest. You need to pay. Scammers will use publicly available loan information to find their targets. They build profiles around them, and they use this information to basically extort money from them. So if you feel like this isn't legit, hang up the phone and then actually call the real Harris County Sheriff's Department and avoid that. If somebody's just calling you saying they're from the Sheriff's Department, hang up the phone and then call the sheriff's department. And that way you avoid.
And also,
Do I have a warrant? Oh, gosh, I'm sitting here at my home at 757.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem. They do go for elderly people, and they scam them out of thousands of dollars. It's just, there's a special place in hell for these people.
Well, and also, when they issue a warrant for your arrest, they don't do the courtesy of calling you to tell you that. Right?
No, you just find out when
you just
get
find out when you get
out.
arrested. So,
Yeah. They're not gonna
number
say,
one,
"Pay
they're not
up or
going to
we're
call
gonna
you and
arrest
say
you."
it. They're not going to call you and say it. One of the unfortunate best spoofs I ever heard of a scam caller is when whoever the people are that are spoofing Centerpoint, they have it down even with little chimes.
Oh, yeah.
When you call Centerpoint, there's a chime.
Oh.
And it says, "Thank you for calling Centerpoint," whatever it is. The chimes are the same on the spoof scam caller, the robocaller.
Oh.
It's very real.
So
and that
hang
happened-
up and call Centerpoint to make sure if you thought your bill was on point. No pun
Rolla,
intended.
that actually happened. I was on vacation with my daughter. This is like 2 years ago. And I'm like, oh, crap, did I not pay the electric, or did I
Right.
not pay the bill?
Yeah, but don't
And
trust their
I heard the
little
chimes,
system.
everything. I hung up the phone. Something felt wrong. And then I called them directly. And they're like, no, you're paid in full. I'm like, oh,
Because you can call them after hours, and it's an automated system with the same chimes. The difference is you called them. They did not call you.
Yeah.
And they also will not call you and tell you we're about to turn off your power in 30 minutes.
And you need to pay us now.
That's
No,
definitely never going to happen.
they just
They are
do
just
it.
going to turn off your power. Same way they want. They
They're
just
just gonna
turn
turn
off.
off.
They just do
They're
it.
just going to turn off the water. They're just going to turn off the power. Nobody warns you. So tell all the elders in your life. Tell anyone who is an immigrant in your life. I say this all the time because I have an elder and immigrant who is not going to understand what is happening on the phone, and they're going to think it's a real deal. So y'all just be careful of that. Now, coming up next, let's see what you 7 o'clockers are going to bring us as we transition into the 7 o'clock hour on a summer Monday for Look at Me Now.
Look at Me Now.
713-390-KRBE. You tell us a story of triumph after somebody told you you can't, you won't, you shouldn't, you'll never. But you did. We'll talk to you next on The Roula and Ryan Show.